Welcome to Growing Your Team, a podcast designed for small business owners seeking to grow their company with the help of employees and contractors. Your time is limited, which means growing and leveraging teams is essential for business success. The Growing Your Team podcast is the place to learn tips and techniques designed to help you know when it's the right time to hire, how to select perfect fit team members, and how to maximize productivity while creating a positive work environment. Drawing from her 10-plus years of leadership and hiring experience, here is your host, Jamie Van Kuyk.
Hello, Jamie Van Kuyk here, and welcome back to the Growing Your Team podcast. Today, I am getting into the age-old debate of whether you should hire for passion or skill. And let me tell you, this is one that I have a pretty strong opinion on. So, in my opinion, hiring for how well you like someone's personality and passion does not work. So, in your business, you've identified that it's time to hire a team member. You have full passion for your business because, after all, it's your baby. You have put in everything you have to get it here. You probably worked late nights, sacrificed time with family or friends, invested money that you maybe had or didn't really have, but you took a chance. You have put everything behind your business to get it where it is now. So naturally, you want to hire someone who feels and matches your passion. And you're thinking, probably because other people have told you this, you can always train someone later to do the job specifics. So just hire someone who has a real passion for your business and a passion for the position. Well, that advice is all wrong and could lead you to making big hiring mistakes. When you hire based on personality and passion instead of skill, you're setting that employee or contractor up to fail, as well as adding hours to your plate as you try to train them. Ultimately, this leads to them disappointing you each step of the way. They're most likely slow to learn, have a hard time grasping the tasks, take a lot of your time, and in the end, you feel like you're paying them while you're still doing the work. And you sit here thinking that the problem might have been that they just weren't passionate enough. Or maybe that you should have just spent a little bit more time training them. But here's the reality. Most likely you're hiring someone because you lack time in your business. So if you lack time in your business, you don't have a lot of available time to train someone, which means you don't have time to train the next passionate person. You need to hire someone who can do the job and prove to you that they can do the job. Because the truth is, when you hire solely on passion, you miss out on the most important parts of quality team members, skill. Let me walk you through an example from my corporate days to show to you how focusing on passion and not skill can lead to big hiring mistakes. So it all started when I attended a career fair to represent my department. We had a few open positions, so I was tasked with going and meeting potential candidates that we would later interview. And that's when I met him. He was wearing a new but super poorly fitting suit, and I could tell that he invested what he had, which was not a lot, to be there. He told me his story about how he just graduated from college and was actually the first in his family to do so. He also told me how he had worked all throughout school so he could afford the tuition and was trying to find his first full-time job in his selected career field. His vulnerability and determination had me hooked. I knew he was someone that I wanted to interview, and I was quick to put his resume in the must-interview pile. And when we returned to the office, he was one of the first ones that I made sure we contacted to get him on the interview schedule. About a week later, during the interview, we heard more about his journey to get to this point, and I wanted to be this man's hero. I wanted to be the one to give him his first full-time job and get him started in his chosen career path. To me, there was no reason I wouldn't hire him. He was so passionate. I was willing to put in everything I had to train this person to get him to where he needed to be to succeed in the role. The interview wrapped up, and as I was getting in the elevator with the other manager that was at the interview with me, she asked me the question, but can he do the job? And that's when I sat there for a while and just it was a pause, probably just like this, being like, with the final answer being, I don't know. I really don't know, because he didn't actually prove to me in the interview that he could do the job. Yes, he had the passion for the role. Yes, I had the passion for helping him succeed. But what he didn't have was the skills needed to succeed in this particular role. Nor did I really have the time or the ability to train him on everything that he was lacking. I was new to this management position. I was still learning what it meant to be a manager and what it meant to lead a team. I didn't have time to teach someone how to do the day-to-day tasks that were needed within my team. So here's the thing. Passion can only get someone so far when they are in the wrong position. This is one of the biggest mistakes I see people make when hiring for their team, and is exactly one of the mistakes that I help so many of my clients avoid. When I'm working with clients one-on-one and they go through my hire framework, not only do they learn how to attract candidates who have the passion they desire, they learn how to identify and select candidates who also have the skills they need, because that is important. Yes, you want someone who cares about the role. You want someone who is going to want to work for you and going to want to put in the effort to succeed. But you can't weigh your decision solely on that and overlook whether they can actually do the role. They need to be able to succeed doing the tasks, not just succeeding on a passion level. Because once again, passion can only get someone so far when they're in the wrong position. And unlike in big corporate companies and a small business, you don't have a million places you can move this person if they don't work out on their role. So if you're in corporate and they're highly passionate and they don't work in this role, you might be able to adjust them to something else. That's not going to work in small businesses where your team is very lean and could be just you and this person. So once again, as we wrap up, you cannot hire solely on passion. It is a recipe for disaster and is going to leave you with a team member who is going to disappoint you every step of the way and drain more of your time than you have to give. So find the team member who is both passionate about the role, your company, and working for you, and has the skills needed to succeed. Are you ready to hire a new team member for your business and you want to ensure you hire the person who can succeed in the role, make you happy, and positively impact your bottom line? Then set up time and let's talk, because this is exactly how I help business owners like you. When you go through my hire framework, not only will you learn how to attract candidates who have the passion you desire, but you'll be able to identify and select candidates who have the skills you need and can succeed in the role. With my hire framework, you go through 4 core areas. We start off by going through the hiring details. Here, I help you articulate exactly what your position entails, so you're not working in reactive mode. We then dig into the very specific criteria your ideal candidate needs to have to be a best fit, not only for your position, but for your company as a whole. Then we move on to step 2, initiating the advertising plan. This is where I create you a detailed custom job posting and a custom advertising plan designed to bring in perfect fit candidates. So you spend your time looking at quality candidates. Then step 3 is all about the review process. I provide you with a review guide that's designed to help you identify quickly what to look for in a submitted application to determine if they're worthy of your time. After you choose the best candidates, I provide you with a custom interview guide so you know exactly what to ask in an interview and make sure the interview is as productive as possible. And then lastly, step 4, it's all about the expectations for success. Once you've hired the best candidate, I help you make sure your onboarding plan is as efficient as possible so you can set your new hire up for long-term success and no more having to go through the yo-yo of the hiring and firing cycle. You have a team member on your team who's going to stick around and perform at the level needed. Going through this consultant process not only helps you find the right new hire for your current open position, but it teaches you how to repeat this process with every new position you add to your company as it continues to grow. So if you're a small business owner who is ready to hire, has a rough idea of the position you need to add, and you're tired of going through the hiring process only to end up with bad fitting team members, then let's talk. Send me an email at jamie@growingyourteam.com. That's Jamie, Jamie, @growingyourteam.com, or head on over to growingyourteam.com/jumpstart and let's talk about your hiring needs.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Growing Your Team with your host, Jamie Van Kuyk. Be sure to subscribe and head on over to growingyourteam.com to connect, access the show notes, and discover more ways to hire and leverage your perfect fit team.